Wedding Film School. Welcome back to another episode of the Wedding Film School Show. My name is Jared. Here again for another episode. It's been a few weeks, Jason, but we're back in the mix. How you feeling?
I am feeling very tired.
Dude.
In general.
Yeah, me too.
I'm starting to get back problems.
Oh, no.
That's a part of my life these days.
Are you in bed with a infant these days?
No,
Okay.
we never do that.
Yeah.
But it's bad sleep, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of travel, sitting in cars too much. And then I think the big thing that happened to me is I made a big mistake of wearing loafers to a 10-day shoot or a 10-hour shoot in Boston.
I was like a 10-day shoot? What was that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you didn't see the money?
Yeah,
no.
no.
The 10-day shoot.
Barely see the money.
No, it was a 10-hour thing, and yeah, that's happening. And then, we've been on the road a lot, and it's not even June.
It's May. Yep.
Oh, gosh.
Yep. We're in it.
But like,
isn't a massage a part of your recovery?
I do a massage
process?
once a month.
Yeah.
And it helps, and I have a massage scheduled now for Thursday. So,
good.
I will say, any of you getting older into your 40s, wedding filmmakers, you should take care of your body.
Yeah. I
But
feel it in my knees.
My knees always feel great.
My feet a little bit more, but that's just good shoes, I think.
Oh, the feet are just like, I wore bad shoes. That was dumb.
Yeah.
And I will say, I have figured out the dress shoes thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. I have a bunch that I like.
What's your preference? What's your go-to?
Honestly, it's not so much a brand.
Yeah.
It's a construction. So you need to make sure the soles are rubber. They have to be rubber. You have to have that bounce. You can't have wooden soles or rigid soles or even
leather,
cork.
Yep.
Anything like that. It'll just it'll compress and it will just get less and less support. And B, it has no bounce. So you have to have rubber soles. They have to be thick soles. You can't have thin soles to shoot away. And then you need really memory foam, high arch support. You just need a ton of support on the inside. If you can find something like that, it doesn't really matter how the upper is, in my experience, as long as it's not too rigid.
Yep.
I have a pair of Wolf and Shepherds that I use that are great, which I would highly recommend, the crossovers, if you are a person that is into that look. But I also have some more traditional looking ones that are we bought in Florida that one time when I forgot my shoes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember. They're $60. They're great. I can wear them all day. My feet never hurt.
Yep.
And so it's I don't know. It's one of those problems. I'm always people are oh, what shoes should I get?
I know.
I'm dude, just soft and supportive.
You can't go wrong with a pair of Zero Grands, although
I don't like them.
Sometimes they aren't as formal to me, but those have always worked for me.
They're
if I'm looking
fine.
for a comfy pair.
I don't think that they're as comfy as the other ones.
Okay.
I don't, because they tend to not have any arch support. They're not punishing like real dress shoes, but they're definitely better than other options.
Yeah.
I also think you have to have a flat sole for the most part. You can have a little bit of a heel, but you don't want a big heel. You want to make sure it's just basic stuff, guys. Literally, it's just support.
Yeah.
You need support.
I think there's a brand I really like called Beckett Simonon. I think they're a Spanish brand.
Do they make shoes?
They do.
Oh.
Yeah, they're great. They make some bags too, but they're leather goods.
I guess I've only ever looked at their bags.
I think they're Spanish design, but they manufacture them in bulk. So essentially, if you like the look of an Allen Edmond, it's a little bit more comfortable, a little less cheap, and you can beat up on them a little bit more. Allen Edmonds are just so uncomfortable, dude. It's they're nice looking.
Yeah, they do make a shoe that is a rubber sole, flat sole shoe.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not worth the money. That's the problem. Is that
especially
$70
during
pair
weddings.
I got from Marshall.
You're gonna destroy them.
Yeah, it's just I don't really want to spend more than $120 on a shoe.
I tend to suffer for fashion probably a little bit more. I have a couple pairs of loafers that I'll wear, and they are not very comfortable, and I'll wear them all day.
I like the loafers.
That's why my feet hurt, though.
I like the loafers, too. I will wear them sometimes, too, and
Yeah.
every time I do, I regret it.
Yep.
And it's just... and even going to, Engage or, a networking event,
Yeah.
and I'm oh, I got these Like literally, guys, thick socks is another cue. You wear thick socks, like if you can get away with tube socks to a wedding without people seeing your actual socks,
Yeah.
you should do it.
The calf
Now,
compression. Yeah.
well, it's just like they're thick on the actual bottom.
Yeah.
Like if this is my dream sock. If they would make this sock, dress sock upper, normal sock lower.
Yeah.
Like this weird looking sock that if you put
Comfort in the front, party in the back.
yes, like a stealth good sock.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing about dress socks is they're like so thin.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. You like rip it with your
And they don't breathe.
toenail.
They're like a polyester or something rather than like a cotton like loose sock.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. Anyway, but I'm good. Things are great.
Good. Good. Well, we are getting into it, and as we approach another season, we're realizing, and Jay and I have these conversations all the time of just like what could separate us from, other people in the industry that are doing wedding films or other vendors. Like, what are we doing that is working really well? And I think one thing that we always talk about is figuring out conflict before there's conflict. Areas that maybe where it's hard for certain videographers. They're like, oh, the photographer's always getting my way and ruining my shot and ruining my video. I've just never found like we have that conflict with them. We rarely have that conflict with, the DJ or the band or the planner or really anybody along the way. And we're like, why is that? Because I still feel like we create great wedding films that people love and cherish and, let us know that they absolutely are in love with. So what are some differences there? Because I think it's something that a lot of filmmakers out there struggle with. And a lot of times that leads to people not being referred at the end of the day, right? Is they have conflict throughout the day and then they realize like, I'm not getting booked. Why am I not getting booked? And then you look at their, sales sheet and they're like, well, how many of these are vendor referrals?
Well, I think like the
Zero.
key, that's the key thing is like, you saw the title. It's how to get vendor referrals. How to get more vendor referrals, maybe not how to get them in general, but I think like there's like an entire category of wedding filmmaker or wedding professional, usually creatives, because you're dealing with the client so much on a one-on-one basis. Like there's a unique aspect with wedding creatives that is unique to almost everyone, even including the planning team on the wedding day, where we are the most with the client.
Mm-hmm.
We spend the most time with the client on the wedding day.
Us and the photographer.
Yes.
Yeah.
The creatives. And so the creatives like can get a lot of leverage out of client referrals because you kind of create an experience for them and they enjoy it. And you have an opportunity to get to talk to them. Mm-hmm. And I think what gets lost on a lot of folks is like if everyone else thinks they suck.
Yeah.
And so, like, they'll be like, you'll say that this is the classic conversation. Where do most of your leads come from? Most of mine are word of mouth. Mm-hmm. That literally almost always only means client referral. Like, if someone says word of mouth, they mean the clients told their friends to book me and then their friends.
That's interesting.
It doesn't mean vendor referral. If someone says word of mouth,
I almost feel like it's almost always vendor.
I
referral.
bet if you ask a person word of mouth and then you ask them to break down their referrals, they would say, oh, I worked with this person and their bridesmaid hired me and then this person hired me. Because it's like they're talking to each other. Oh, they were so cool. They were so awesome. These are good, by the way. You should have that. Like that's good.
Right.
Important. Great. Awesome. Like you're really a loser if you don't. But I do think it's the lowest bar. The lowest bar is client referral. Mm-hmm. And people are like, well, that's not true. That's the most important. Yes, the fact that it's essential means it's the lowest bar. It literally is the bare minimum that a client has a good experience with you.
Yeah.
You will get paid and probably keep getting paid if the clients have a good experience with you. And of course they like your product and you don't screw up and you're not late and all that junk. The next level for so many people is vendor referral. It is what will keep you out. It is the only thing that will get you in to the next level that you're trying to go into. Mm-hmm. Like, I would say, like, me and Jared would love to shoot weddings with, like, Lynn Easton and all these, like, top tier planners. Maybe not her specifically, whatever. I mean, Lynn, if you call us, we're going to take your call. We love it. But we also know that, like, until somebody decides we can do that, we're not going to get to. Like somebody within the sphere of influence for Lynn, an employee, I guess a celebrity, but typically like somebody was like, oh, you should work with that guy. Mm-hmm. It's very important. And they'll go, and there's reasons for this. The reasons are like, A, these people are planning complex, big events. They have teams that already work for them. So they're not looking necessarily for new people all the time. They don't need them. They have plenty of people. Everyone wants to work with them. So they're not starving for like people asking, oh, I'll do something for free for you. Please, anything for you, you know? Mm-hmm. So their number one most important thing is that another trusted source tells them, you should really consider working with these people, or they're great, or I hired them. Even if a client's like, oh, I want to look at Jared Haskell films. And this planner's like, okay, let's look at who have they worked with, right? A passive referral like that, which is like, oh, like me and Jared, we shoot a film. What's the number one thing planners say to you when they're talking to you at a networking event about our brands?
What's the number one thing they say?
Like the most consistent comment made about our brands by planners.
You guys aren't annoying to work with.
No, not about us. About in relation to the referral topic.
I send you guys to everyone.
Everyone
works. What are you trying to say, dude?
Everyone works with you.
Oh yeah. They do say that a lot. Sure.
Every time.
Yeah.
It's like the number one thing people say to me. That's a passive referral.
You guys are everywhere.
You're everywhere. Everyone works with you.
Yeah.
You're like we're being gilded by the fact that have like a trust factor. Oh, Kristen trusts you. She's good.
Yep.
She doesn't book bad people. She has challenging clients or complicated clients or like all the things that go into her event. You did it. She liked it. She keeps referring you. Therefore, I know I can trust you. Right?
The vetting process, I think as a planner specifically, the vetting process is challenging for them because vetting is all about maintaining a reputation for them.
Yes.
And if they see someone who they respect and they've already vetted you and they continue to work with you over and over and over again, and they see this for years, they're like, well, I don't have to do a lot of that vetting myself, because a lot of these planners are like you guys. They have a couple events here or there. As they become more successful, they start filling up their schedule more. But a lot of planners that are first starting out, and these are the people that I think you should really be targeting and partnering with, is when they're not fully booked, because it's like you're becoming a team member to them, but separate conversation. They are just trying to figure out their own brand, and they're like, I only have a couple events this year. I only have a couple opportunities to vet somebody.
Yeah, it's max like 10 events, right? Max.
And they're going to be like, if someone's already done that work for me, like a successful planner who I look up to, then I'm just going to cut to the chase and hire you guys, and because
I know it's not going to be an issue. And
you're not going to make me look bad.
We're not even getting into like brand lift for them by hiring like, oh, you hire Peyton Frank and everyone thinks you're really big because you had Peyton Frank at one of your weddings. That's great too. But we're not even getting into that. Let's just imagine you're just a local person. They don't care about going viral. They're not trying to do anything but do a good job for their clients. Like that's our context today. Is they want their client to be happy. They don't want issues on the wedding day. That is really the most important thing to getting a referral, and I think it's secondary to them that your work is so great that they go viral. Like, and of course I think there are people who need that, but most people. So anyway, all that to say, I think this idea of referrals is a little twisted in people's mind because of all that, and they're like, people refer me all the time, and if you say, well, who refers you?
Yeah.
Oh, my clients. And then you're like, okay, but what about, I don't care about that, right? And I think like this is where I think things get messed up in our industry, especially with wedding filmmakers, is they have this idea in their head that actually if the client's happy, that's all that matters.
Right. I think there's definitely a hierarchy to what the referral is, whether it's a client referral or a vendor referral and who that vendor is. Client referral to me is like they like the work or they like the experience and maybe they're going to hire you again, especially if it's like a close relative, like a sister or brother or a cousin or someone who's close to the family. They're like, hey, this person trusted you. I want to trust you. You know, I feel like we get less referrals for friends. We still get some referrals from friends. What I notice a lot from our clientele is like, hey, I know this person. I'm not necessarily super close to them, but we work in like adjacent kind of social circles. Like there's like the, you know, Oyster Harbor's kind of people. There's the Wellesley people. Like there's these like circles of wealth that are like, hey, I went to, you know, prep school with that person, and, you know, I see them from afar on Instagram.
I was a
so
plus one at a wedding, so I saw their like.
Yes.
It's like.
There's a lot of that kind of stuff, and that's actually very successful too. Obviously, completely out of our control.
But the point is like you don't really do. It's not hard.
No, but it's about the work, and so obviously any referral is a great referral, but I probably put the value less on that referral because at the end of the day, you could be Alex Douglas or Ray Roman or Peyton Frank or these, you know, wedding filmmakers who are unbelievable wedding filmmakers, and someone to see the work. And I mean, once you do this for a certain amount of time, you just really don't trust. I don't trust clients' opinion of my art. I mean, frankly, like,
well, it's like
they look at it and be like, they could be like, that's great.
The tolerance of what they would accept is very wide.
Yeah, totally.
Like, as they're in it, and it's their day, and it's not like they looked at the footage and were like, you could have made so much better
But
film.
also nowadays, there's so many different types of filmmakers. You could do an amazing piece, like an Alex Douglas piece, and then someone looks at that and goes, you know, that's cool, but I want it to be more Wes Anderson style.
Yeah, like,
you know, it's like
moving postcard stuff, that trend.
Okay, cool. Like, you know, it's just a different style or whatever. Once you start moving into like the referral world of vendor referral world, I would say for most people out there, probably you should be focusing on photographer referrals to start, because a lot of people out there aren't really working with planners yet,
or at least full service.
But every single wedding that you do is going to have a photographer.
Okay, let's not go any farther because I like where you're headed with this. Yeah, because let's talk through. You're getting started with referrals. Mm-hmm. We're not bagging on client referrals. You should get them. You should work on them.
Yep.
Our point
but
is
it's just out of your control a little bit more.
But also, it's easy to get.
Sure.
You just do a good job.
Do a good job.
And you're nice to people. Like, if they feel good and they like what you did, great. It's not that simple with vendor referrals.
Well, actually, before we hop into vendor referrals, maybe we should talk about, for the basics of people who are like, am I doing a good job? Am I even getting client referrals?
Well, yeah.
Like, how do you get client referrals if you're not currently getting vendor referrals? What are maybe some obstacles to people getting those client referrals if they're not there yet?
I mean, like I said, it's hard for me to put myself in a position of someone who can't get a client referral because I think,
you know people who can't get a client referral
because they're just bad. So
they're bad, but also
I would say first and foremost, be good. That's the simple thing. Be good. Like not your opinion of good. They think you're good. Is what I'm saying. They have to like it. They have to have fun. Don't be weird. Don't make them uncomfortable.
People also have a sixth sense about like people that are kind of a cluster F, right?
Yes.
Like you show up and you're like disheveled and you're like, ugh, you roll in the door, you're late.
Don't be stressed.
You're a little sweaty.
Don't bring like to your point, don't bring bad energy to the anyway. You have to bring only good energy.
You're panting and you're a little panicky and anxious. Like, well, I've shown up to weddings where photographers are that way, and everyone's like, holy cow, what is wrong with this person? This person is just
nobody
not
around the wedding day
all.
should ever think, especially the client side. Like, I guess if the planner knows, like, I have a relationship with the planners that I know really well, and I would tell them if I was stressed. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm stressed right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying don't be a human being. Don't be a human being to your clients.
Yeah.
They don't need to know. They don't need to know your real feelings.
Yeah.
They don't need to know how you really feel. Don't be vulnerable with them.
No.
It's all about them.
Yeah.
It's all about them. Smile. Make them feel great. Nobody wants to hear about, like, sorry, my dog died last week.
Or I just fought with my mother-in-law or something.
I'm just sorry.
The crazy things you and I have both heard.
Yes.
People say the craziest thing to their couples.
Yes.
And you're like, why are you bringing this energy into somebody's wedding day?
But even like something as simple as like, I couldn't find parking.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
that makes you look bad.
Traffic or whatever.
No one cares about any of it. Don't say anything negative to your client.
Yeah.
Ever. The end.
Yep.
Simple.
Yep.
And then do a good job. But I think where people lose those referrals probably mostly is not responding to people and not doing what you say. You're toast if you don't do that.
Yep.
You know, because like once you kind of open the door for criticism with these people, they're going to walk through it.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you can't avoid it. We've had people who I'm just like, you don't know what you're talking about, but they're just the type of people who need to criticize whatever they buy.
Yeah.
It's just that what makes them feel powerful or something. But there are most people like we get a lot of referrals and we don't have that many almost no unhappy clients. Even some of the people who just like, oh, do this and they have changes they want and things like that. They're not unhappy.
No.
They're just the type of people they are.
Yeah.
We don't really have it a lot because we're never late. We don't cause drama, and we do what we say. And I would say like maybe one aspect that we have never faced, but I would say some people probably face is our not worst wedding, because I don't view them that way, but our most like simple, down to earth wedding, we give it as much care and attention as the high end wedding. So the person never feels gypped. They don't get the film and go like, what the heck is this? I saw the film and when I was like, if the film you deliver doesn't match your portfolio, that is probably another thing that people, I can tell they didn't care.
Right.
I can tell they didn't like my wedding. I can tell all that stuff. So I think like, and then of course you need to have strategies to get referrals.
Yes.
And so like the number one strategy is of course deliver as quick as possible. Because that's a good leave them wanting more, leave them with a good impression.
Yeah. There are strategies that you can employ when it comes to client referrals that are like, you know, you can get creative with that.
I mean, a small one I would say, especially early in your career, is, you know, sometimes I would recommend not doing it, but I used to not want to do it, but now I kind of like think it's kind of good to do a collab with your couple on Instagram because it's going to show up in front of all their friends and family. They're not necessarily following you, their friends and family, or seeing that the couple is tagged or following the comments that they make, but they are following that person. So getting something quickly while the friends and family who are interested in the wedding are still interested in the wedding, collabing with the couple, and then showing it off. If it was early in my career, I would make a teaser with every couple every week, the week after.
Yep.
I would do that. That's what I would do.
Yep.
If you're struggling and you have the time to do it, I would make a 30-second teaser and collab with the couple and release it every time.
Yep.
Regardless of who they are
and
how nice the wedding was. Because portfolio is important. Leads are more important. So, like, nobody's going to be like, who's friends with that person. There might be 2 people who would book you at that wedding if they saw the work. And yes, there might be some random person on the internet who's like, oh, that looks stupid. I'm not booking them. Who cares about that person? They're not a hot lead.
Yeah.
The people at the event are the hot lead.
Yeah.
So that's my basics.
Think about, you know, the wedding party that's on site, the way that you treat them. Don't ignore them. Talk to them. Joke with them. Laugh with them. If they like you, they might hire you for their wedding. You're talking about a prime target. A young person in a wedding party is obviously much more likely to get married within
anyone
the next
who's married, just
window.
Ignore them, be rude to them.
Yeah.
No.
But talk to them, and if they like you, I mean, how many times have you, like, I've talked to these people, and we're just hanging out. People are getting their hair and makeup done. You make a little joke. They laugh. You know, you talk about life. You talk about where everyone's coming from. And then you get an email from them 2 years later, 3 years later. Like, that's the game you're playing when it comes to client referrals.
And it's not like you need to spend a bunch of time impressing people. No. You just need to have, like, chill interactions that aren't weird.
Yeah.
And just, like, they're just imagining, like, oh, I wouldn't mind having that person around on my wedding day.
A lot of these people are going to a lot of weddings. If you're in a bridal party, you're probably in other bridal parties as well. Like, people go through these waves of, like, everyone's one of their friends is getting married, and they get to see you compared to other videographers that are at weddings potentially, and they'll be like, oh man, I went to this one wedding, this one videographer was doing X, Y, and Z, had a weird presence, whatever, and it was so different than what I experienced when you were there. You made me feel calm.
I've had 3 groomsmen in the last 6 months come up to me at the end of the wedding and say, "You worked really hard."
Yeah. 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 All the time, dude. You'll walk out and it's a random dude.
groomsman.
Groomsman.
Good job today, man.
Or old guy.
Yeah, old guys love to
Old
say
guys. You guys worked really hard today. I saw you sweating out there.
Saw you doing it.
Saw you doing
Good job.
I don't think they're going to hire us, but they're going to say that. Everyone else is thinking it, right?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, again, I don't think this is that hard. I think the other stuff is actually a lot harder because you have to be strategic. You can't just do your job well.
Yep.
And not be everything we just said. I think is common sense.
Yep.
And kind of obvious, with maybe the exception of maybe doing teasers with the couple. That's a little, and you can do follow up stuff or, asking them to give you a review.
Yep.
Kind of things like that. But I'm not really sure all that really moves the needle as much as your presence. You know? So
Totally.
and give them a good experience. But here's the deal: that's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
And what I think a lot of people do is they succeed at that, but they don't succeed at anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say, you were talking about it earlier, a hierarchy of referrals. I think client referrals are a given.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to exclude them from this hierarchy because if you don't get them, you should just close. You are bad and you stink, and I wish for your failure because you make me look bad and you hurt all of us. Mm-hmm. These other ones, not as much, but I will say not ideal for the industry. But at the end of the day, so I'd say this, if you were getting started and you're I want vendor referrals. To your point, you were saying, photographers. I would think in this sequence. And maybe you could flip-flop 1 and 2, but I like starting with photographers. The first person you should be trying to get a vendor referral from is a photographer. The second person you should be trying to get a referral from is the venue.
Mm. Yeah.
I have my reasons why I think it's second. The third and most important, but maybe the hardest, is going to be that wedding planner. Mm-hmm. Everyone else doesn't matter.
Pretty much.
They can't hate you.
Yeah.
Because they might tell a wedding planner that you sucked or something, but they don't need to refer you.
Yeah.
I don't care if a band refers us or not.
I don't think we've been referred by a single DJ in 16 years.
They don't need to. They're not even able to.
It's just they're not even able to.
It's like you have 3 groups of people that can get you weddings and that have a stake in what happens and can make you not get a wedding. Mm-hmm. That's the key to look at it, is these 3 people can keep you out of a wedding. If a photographer says no, they're booked first, you're not getting the job.
Yeah.
If a venue's day of coordinators that we had them, no, you're probably not getting the job. If a wedding planner says no, you're probably not getting the job. I think photographer most. Because they will say I will not work with that person. Mm-hmm. I've heard of planners who are kind of push back on something, and the person's I really want them though. So
yeah, planners kind of go, okay.
Yeah, well, we had to work with them, but in general, this is how it works. And the reason why I think it's in that order is you have access to photographers first in the industry.
Yes.
First and foremost. Second of all, venues change staff a lot. Mm-hmm. So that is a hard referral to maintain. You have to actually effort towards it every year. Mm-hmm. Because it's more reliable to have a bunch of photographers who like you and refer you than it is to have even a vendor person at a venue, as a day of person or a events coordinator or whatever. Because at the end of the day, those people could be gone and you didn't do anything wrong. You put all that effort into those leads, and then some new person comes and you're no longer getting booked at that country club.
Yep.
And then, of course, planners we'll talk about at the end. But let's talk about photographers. I think photographers are probably where most of you are at if you're listening to the show. You either really count on it and you're yeah, that's been good for me. Or you're oh, yeah, no, photographers are jerks. Why do you think some filmmakers don't get any referrals from photographers?
Because they're held to work with.
In what way?
They are annoying to be around. They're awkward. They complain a lot. And, when you're working with a photographer, you're either vibing or you're not. It's obvious. And if you're not vibing, something's wrong. It doesn't even have to be oh, high five, we're best friends. But it's hey, do this. You're working together. You're kind of gelling. When you don't have that and the videographer is just doing whatever they want and getting in the way, And this is the thing, guys. Like, I tell my couples, like the photographer on a wedding day, they have the right of way. Like, even though it's easy for them to, AI me out of the frame, and it's pretty easy for me to cut. Yeah, it's pretty easy for me to cut the photographer out of the frame. But generally, the way that I shoot, at least, is like I'm not doing a lot of narrative work. I'm documenting the day. The photographer actually needs to get a group of 40 people together and get shots. They're naturally like the mouthpiece of the day.
Well,
so to get in the way of all of that.
Do you remember we were in a consult for a Huxley film we have coming up, and the couple's like, "Could you do we're shooting in a room that has no side aisles."
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much, whoever's at the front is stuck at the front the entire wedding.
Yeah.
And they also have a hopa, which, if you don't know what it is like a Jewish tent, essentially, that people get married under.
Yep.
It has angle issues. You can't always shoot from the side. Go watch our PTS that we just dropped on Wedding Film School, and you can see how we dealt with a hopa. Yeah. Anywho, and they were like, couldn't you just put a camera in the middle aisle?
Yeah.
And I was like, that photographer needs that shot.
Yeah.
I don't even know who's the photographer.
Yeah.
Who are they? I don't know.
I don't even know.
I'm sure we have it written down somewhere, but I didn't do it because I know that photographer.
Mm-hmm.
I did it because I have common sense.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking.
And common courtesy, dude.
It is courtesy.
Yeah.
But there's a million reasons. But so to my number one point is this. I think all your reasons, yes. People, the terrible dress code, the stupid video carts that you're rolling around. Dude, don't bring a cart to a wedding. I'm sorry. I'm sure that's going to annoy some people, and I'm not trying to go after anybody. Do you agree?
Yeah.
It just looks bad, right?
It looks bad. I mean,
it's like
when you dump all your stuff in the corner and it's out and about, and then you have your Chick-fil-A bag out there too. Like,
there's just you're on your phone. Your point is you look like you don't belong. But here's the number one thing. I was talking to Dana the other day about a filmmaker who was really bad.
Oh, who?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know who it was. She just was like, I work with this guy, and this was a bad experience.
Yeah.
And she's talking to me, and she's like, here's the problem. People don't know that we're not the same.
Yes. They think you're together.
Yes. And she's like, and it makes me look bad.
Yes.
So I don't want to work with someone who dresses bad or acts bad or behaves in a way that isn't conducive with what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of wedding filmmakers show up and they just have no idea the environment they're in. They don't have any clue the rules of the industry or how to conduct themselves. Or more accurately, they have a nasty attitude about it.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm just an artist, man. All the rules around this, they're just here. Sometimes I just wear shorts, man. That's cool, right? Because it's all about what I create, my connection with my couples. Look at my referrals. The groom thought it was cool that I wore shorts.
Yeah.
Dude. The groom maybe thought it was cool, but the photographer didn't.
And the planner didn't. And we just worked with a planner who had a dress code for the guests. And there was a very elevated dress code for the shooting team and for the staff on site.
It's the final question on 2 of my last consults from the planners. How are you going to dress?
Yes.
Why are they asking me that?
Mm-hmm.
They're asking me that because they have to.
Because some idiot, the last time they worked with them, wore slides with socks and sweatpants.
Yes.
Or whatever, which we have been sent photos from photographer friends.
Look at this jamoke.
Look at this guy.
Yes.
Who just showed up to this wedding that I'm shooting. And it's, I think it is embarrassing for them because they're like, why am I doing this wedding that has a videographer that is doing this?
Yeah, photographers.
I'm elevated.
Yes.
And then, and it's part of the problem with video where, when people finally have a budget where they can afford video, you're getting the baseline of wedding vendor videographers working with mid-tier and upper-tier photographers. That's entry level for video now. And it's that's embarrassing, I think, for the photographer that they're still at that point, maybe.
I just think they're just thinking, aren't we beyond this?
Yeah.
And they don't want it.
I do think there's a little bit less of that now. There's more videographers than ever just wearing a sports coat.
Just know what they're doing.
Just know what they're doing. We've been doing this long enough, and, I hope a lot of the rhetoric that we, say on this show
we've made a little
breaks
impact.
Through. Jake and Nate, they look good. And the luxury world, I think, is really.
I think it's been helpful there.
Yeah.
That being said, Jared,
Yep.
all that stuff is basic. Here's where I think the next level of referrals is. This is like the conversation I have. Is I love working with you guys. And you're like, why? We're talking to Ruthie in South Carolina a couple weeks ago, and she's like, "Oh, so basically, I've known Ruthie forever, so I love Ruthie." And I was like, "What is it?" I was like pushing her a little, and she's like, "Well, you're just easy."
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that. And I was like, "That's great," but it's not really what she meant, because it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What it means is why she thinks it's easy.
Yeah.
And this is like the real secret to getting vendor referrals with photographers. Pay attention to what they want. What is it that they want out of the day? What do they want out of light?
Yeah.
Did they spend 45 minutes on the flat lay?
Yep.
That's going to tell you about their whole collection.
Yeah.
What they're delivering. Understand what photographers are delivering.
Yep.
Is it a 45-minute portrait? I don't need to know anything about the photographer. I just look at the schedule. I got a schedule in Martha's Vineyard with an hour-long portrait session after the first look.
That's the area
all I
of
need to know.
importance to them. Yep.
That's all I need to know.
I do think it's an important distinction and astute. I think because the way that I would work with Ruthie would be much different than the way I would work with like a Jose Villa or with this summer working with Katie Mary.
I'm doing with Christina Adams in a couple weeks.
Yep. And so when you're working with someone like Ruthie, I think it's like, I know I'm going to interact with the couple, make the groom feel at ease because I'm talking about fishing or whatever, just like putting him at ease, doing some of the work that I think
you're helping her,
relieving some of that pressure because she's thinking about, a complicated lighting setup and she doesn't want to have to like tap dance, do both at the same time.
She might be interested in the fashion or there's a certain shot she wants.
That's what she means when she says, you guys are easy. You make this job easier. It's not having awkward conversations and putting stress on the couple. But when I work but I also know what I want at the same time. So when she's like, is there something you want to get? I was thinking about this. I like the way the light's hitting here. That's a good idea. That relieves some of the pressure too. And I can apply that to a session with Ruthie, but then I can also apply that to a session with KT where she's like, where's a good place to shoot? Well, we've been here a lot. I would take them up to the secret staircase because it's kind of cool and unique and different. Oh my God, that's a great idea. That's how you can work with someone who's been doing it for 20 years and is, a world icon photographer like a KT Mary potentially.
Well,
or also she might not even ask me what I think. And I'm like, great. That's fine too.
When I'm shooting a wedding with Christina, I've worked with her
a lot,
3 times or whatever.
Yep.
And so we have a relationship and a lot of respect for one another and fun. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I know her sensibilities.
Yep.
I remember one time she said to me, I love the way our edits work together. We edit color the same way.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know.
Yeah.
Like on purpose.
Yeah.
Like if I'm doing a collab with you, I'm going to look at your color grade and I'm going to try to make sure that what I do looks good for you.
Yeah.
So you feel good about associating with me. And that's one. And the other side is like, I know I'm listening to how she interacts with light. She's looking for interesting light. So like I'm with Rich and I'm like, Rich, any suggestion you have about light, be public. Say it. She wants to hear it.
Yeah.
Because she knows like all these ideas are going to make her photos better.
Yeah.
And she's like, versus some people, I might be like, don't say crap.
Yeah.
Let this person like, I'm not trying to show shade at any photographers, guys. Some people aren't as good as other people. Some people can't shoot in dynamic lighting, or they think they can't. They could, but they're not. They don't want to. They're not open to it. They only want one certain thing.
Yep.
You got to just notice that stuff, and then making it easier for them is noticing what they want, and then helping them, serving them to help them get what they want easier. So like if I work with Dana, if I find cool light, weird things, I can say to her, I found this cool spot. She's going to like it. She's going to, oh, that's a great idea. It's so easy working with you. You help me do what I wanted to do easier. That's one, making it easier. And then of course, just don't be a pain in portrait sessions. Don't get in their way constantly. And like I do know there are situations with some photographers where you're just like, I'm sorry, like this isn't I can't with you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's never a situation where you don't need to say to someone like, you got to stop doing this to me.
Yeah.
There's not
communication. Also, like, I'm in the groups, guys. Like, I hear when the photographer steps in front of your shot, all this stuff. I will say there's a lot of things that you can do during something important like the ceremony to make sure the photographer's not getting your shot. It rarely happens to us.
Ceremony?
Like, yeah, dude.
Who cares about the ceremony?
If you're on any of these Facebook groups,
I know.
Go on to Wedding Videographer's Facebook group, and you will find someone complaining today. I think Jody actually had to make a rule, not like no complaining about the photographer, because it's
not even interesting.
So generic and boring, and actually, it's probably most of the time their fault, the videographer's fault. So, I might get killed for that, but it just barely happens to us. And there's places like I'll give you 2 tips, and then we can move on. 1 tip: put your camera close to the seating area if you have a wide shot, and the photographer's not going to be able to step in front of you even. 1. The other thing is communicate with the photographer during the recessional and the processional. Like, where are you going to be? How are you going to move? And 99% of the time, you're going to be perfectly fine because they're going to know where you are. You're going to be able to work around them without them stepping in front of your
I would
shot.
say, like, you have to advocate for your client. You're not advocating for you. You're advocating for your client during the ceremony and the speeches.
Yep.
And that's as simple as, like you said, considering the needs of the photographer, where you position yourself, and also you could just let them know, hey, my cameras are here and here. And like you said, I'm going to be here and here.
During the ceremony, being like, hey, I'll probably be next to you for the first kiss. I'll probably be next to you as the bride's walking down the aisle. Because if you are next to them, they can't step in front of you.
Yes, not behind.
Don't let them be in front of you. Like, use your common sense.
Yes. Now, are you going to get the straight shot right in the middle? No.
You
that's
won't. Fine.
I think you'll survive.
Who cares? It's video. You don't need the symmetry.
Well, you do if it's Wes Anderson. That's my point. Is like some people, the creative idea behind their brand is more important to them than the referral.
Yeah.
And it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's more important to me that photographer thinks I'm a nice person and had fun and then gives me another $80,000 or so than it is for me to do something that is a trend on the internet that is not even going to be in style in 4 years, which is a perfectly symmetrical shot.
Yep.
It's just, pick your battles, guys. And it's like, it's fine to like, especially second shooters, dude. If a second shooter's getting in front of my shot, I'm going to.
Yeah.
Like, especially during toast. That is the one thing I'm like, you don't even need this. It's a toast. Why are you standing in front of my camera? Yeah. So I'm not going to yell at them like that, but I'm going to be like, excuse me, I really need this shot.
Yeah.
Like, because it's linear. I'm like, it's uncut. I have one camera on this person giving a toast and you're standing in front of him for 10 seconds. That's going to screw me. So I'm not saying you never say anything where your needs are, but try to communicate ahead of time if you're able to. I mean, it's a great thing. So anyway, I think... And then, of course, I think the final step with photographers is they can become peers.
Yeah.
Like friends.
Yeah.
You can it's hard to make friends with like a venue coordinator.
Yeah.
But you can become friends with
then when you go back the next year, they're gone.
Well, and also they're like these people who've only been in the industry for like 2 years and they hate the job because they really wanted to do X, Y, and Z. And they're not people who like chose this all the time. Sometimes they are. Photographers, you both have cameras. You both like making art. You're both you're like the same.
Yeah.
Like that's how you should see it. They're not different. You're both image makers. And so that's like if you can make friends with people, do it. Go to networking events. Yeah. Be nice to people in Facebook groups. Tell people you like their work. Comment on their on their beautiful stuff they post.
Celebrate their successes.
Yeah, just be a nice person to these photographers and treat them with respect and try to listen to what they want. And of course, don't be a douchebag. And I think
rule number 1.
Like it's actually not that hard. The problem with photographers is they see you the most. So like if you really actually are a douchebag, you can't hide it.
Yep.
Versus like a venue person, you can kind of hide it. So venue people, I think you do pretty well with venue people. I think this is actually the most, from a standpoint of strategy, the easiest and the least relational, but you need to put pressure on it.
It's interesting. as I'm thinking about it now, because I don't feel like I go out of my way to woo venue people. Venue people come in, and when they come in, you don't even know there's a new person at whatever venue, but they hear about you. They're on social media because they're trying to acclimate themselves into the industry to know who the players are and whatever. And so they know about you when you don't even know about them. And so I think a lot of venue stuff is built on your like reputation. And then when you see them, you back up your reputation and they're like, oh, I've heard a lot about you. We're excited to work with you today. And like they act like you've met every single time. Like, and you're like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm Jared. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. Like, yeah. How are you doing? Anything I can do to help you? Like, there's no acknowledgement of like a relationship. It's just, I'm a representative of the venue and I'm trying to
Well, that's what I mean.
carry
It's like,
on
because
this
they're new, they're
Yeah.
treating you with a level of
respect.
But that's for us who already have a reputation.
Sure.
Let's imagine you want to get these things.
Sure.
I think all you got to do is make them money. And don't be a douchebag. So don't be a douchebag, baseline, which means don't like destroy their property.
Mm-hmm.
Don't dress bad. Don't make them late because they care the most about getting to dinner on time. Of all the vendors in the world,
Yep.
it is venue coordinators.
No, it's about the food.
They want to keep that trains running on time. So
Mm-hmm.
don't mess up their schedule. Blah 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 blah.
I would say read their forms
Yep.
is another thing. Like if they're sending you the timeline and they say room clears at this time, can you please not leave your stuff out and about? Like that's going to be probably more important to them.
They're just
than
very
even the
rules
photographer.
based. Like they just like they have a routine.
And they're trying to justify their jobs in a lot of ways. So like if one of their supervisors comes down, they're like, what is this guy doing? He is in the one place. You're going to make them
or this
look
is
bad.
a hotel. We have guests and not just people who are going to this wedding and blah blah. All that stuff.
And things like we had one of our main venues that we've done 8 weddings in a single year at this one venue. When they reach out, they're like, here's our policy. I respond to say, hey, in the past with drones specifically, this has been what I've been told. I'm just confirming that this is still the case because I see in this document you sent over that it kind of, that's an email I had to send last year. And it was a hard email because it was like, I know there are plenty of vendors out there who are just going to do whatever the heck they want. I showed them the respect of having a long-term
and then we also
relationship
had
with them.
we had 8 weddings with them, and we didn't fly drone at any of them
No,
because we followed all their rules.
I followed all their rules, and
We had a meeting about it and
Yep.
told our team.
Yep. And so I sent them an email, and they were like, yeah, we would prefer that you not do that. And I said, okay, we can do that. So I had to go back to my clients and say, hey, this is what the venue is saying. This is how I'm going to solve it for you. But I respected it. And when I was on site at a wedding and there's a drone overhead, I made sure to tell the venue, hey, by the way, there's a
Not
drone
me.
overhead. It's not me. We don't have a drone up here, just so you know.
Yep.
So knowing what their problems are, knowing what the conversations that they're having behind the scenes are, like just trying to understand what people's jobs are, I think is a big part of this, and just a big part of the wedding industry in general. What is important to them so you can help guide them through. And dude, anytime a person has a problem with you, I would say you only know about it 25% of the time.
Well, and here's the thing about this venue. They had a big fire.
Sure.
And we're not, by the way, by mentioning the drone thing, we're not criticizing them. They have guests. There's a lot going on at these places that
They've changed the policy.
Yes.
I honestly, I will take some credit for that.
They,
by the
well,
way.
then not only did they change the policy,
Yes.
when they had the fire and they wanted the awesome rebuild that they're doing, which we're very proud of, because it's an institution. When they had it's the first place we ever shot a paid wedding. So for us, it's a very close and near dear to our heart as a location. And when they had the fire, they called us and said, will you shoot this? And
Yeah.
we shot it for them.
Will you shoot drone?
Will you shoot
The
drone
yeah.
of the property?
Yes.
And so, like, it just pays dividends, guys, to just listen to people and follow their rules. It never really helps you. It's not worth the shot you're going to get. There's no beautiful shot so good
Yep.
that it's worth ticking off these people.
Yep.
So, again, you have to value the referral more than the shot.
Yep.
And that's really what it comes down to.
some other things that you can do with a venue to get in their good graces. And I think with venues, it's even less about like pissing them off and more about just like them remembering who you are.
Yes.
That's hard to do. So staying top of mind, something that I've done in the past for certain venues is like create a what do they call those?
Motion book.
Motion book.
Some
Do a motion book, send it to them. Maybe they use it, maybe they don't.
doesn't even have our logo.
Do face to face.
Just has their logo.
Just has their footage in it. Say, hey, here's some footage that you can show off of the property. Has a Stop Go Love logo maybe at the end.
I don't think we do. I think we actually put their logo.
Okay, yeah. But they're able to be like,
but our goal is to be as like deferential as possible, and basically our goal with these people is to make them feel like we're part of their sales team.
Yep.
That's what I would say to you. If you are trying to get a referral from a venue, again, what do they care about? Photographers care about getting good shots.
Yep.
And not looking bad.
Yep.
Venues care about selling more weddings.
Yes.
That's their primary concern is, so whoever their couples come and say, I saw this thing at Chatham Bars Inn from Stop Go Love, and I want to get married here. Oh, ching. Every time you come in the door, they're thinking, oh, nice. Stop Go Love is here. They're going to post some content. I'm going to make some money. You got to be cool with that. Now, I do understand portfolio-wise. Like, me and Jared are sensitive to, like, we love getting it. We're not going to post every wedding at Chatham Bars Inn that we ever do. Not because they're bad. It's just it looks weird on your Instagram if you only have one venue. Yeah. But we're going to post as many as we feel like we can. Yeah. Because we do want to get paid and they have great weddings, but we also know it helps them. It helps them to have their content tagged, collabed, their future couples seeing it. So when this is the way I'd put it, I want to be the voice of as many venues as I possibly can be. Yep. If you can, because that, especially if it's good, because if I am and they associate me with making money, like let's talk Fairmont Copley Plaza. I love Alice. I see Alice all the time, and all the people from the team. She uses our films every time she sells to couples. Not just because the films are beautiful, but because they show off the space well. So it's like, if you want venue referrals, and I think the last tip is you got to just follow up with them every year.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because they staff changes and things change. You want to
equip them.
So you got to be like, hey, just saying hi. Like, you can do that. You can go to their little events. Maybe they have a wedding show on their own property. Like, wedding shows are not the best, but venue relationships are good. So, but I think the big thing is making content that highlights their venue.
Yeah. I would say this too, from a broader perspective. Most couples probably don't know, like, before they get in the wedding industry, most couples don't know about a wedding photographer, a lot of wedding photographer names.
No, they're not
they don't know name
on
brands.
Top of like who the people
They don't know who the planners are.
No.
They don't know the name brands of planners. They do know venues.
Yes.
Because venues are also inns. They're places, they're spaces, they're Instagrammable moments.
Half the time
places.
they pick the wedding venue because they've liked going there before.
So associating your brand with these venues is a big deal. Like, I always tell the guys when we're putting together the videos, like, get the venue in there quick, because we want to show that it creates some sort of bond with the viewer to our films.
Like, let's look
quickly,
at everyone bags on a barn wedding or a country club wedding, right? Because they're not like good enough for you or something. Yeah. Think about how that feels to a couple who that's their favorite place to go. Yeah. That you think it's dumb. Yeah. You refuse to show it. Yep. It's like, that's their favorite place to go. That country club that they've been a member of for their entire life, that their dad and mom like went on dates at, or, that hotel or whatever it is. So like the couples that get married there that have money that you're trying to get, they want to know that you like the place too. Yeah. They don't want to think you think it's dumb. Yeah. And Agreed. If you're only, so it's like, if you create, to your point, you're creating a bond with the viewer when you're associating yourself with the venue, which of course makes it easier for the venue to sell weddings. They're going to give you referrals. Yeah. And of course, like, as long as you don't cause problems. Yep. Back to that.
And also, if there's a lot of like people out there trying to understand branding. This is branding, guys. Yes. This is like when CBI or Castle Hill or all these venues are accepting collaborations with you, you're building your brand because you're building a trusted brand that these people, not just the photographers, not just the planners, but venues trust. We trust Stop Go Love enough to collaborate with them.
Mm-hmm.
The Four Seasons Boston, One Dalton, and the old Four Seasons, you know, Mandarin. We just did a piece with Mandarin, fully based on our reputation and the brand of who Stop Go Love is.
And I would say this, if you listen to that list of things that Jared just ran off, Channa Barzan, Castle Hill, Mandarin Oriental, Four Seasons, and you're like, what are those? Some places are New England centric.
Yeah.
Although I think Channa Barzan, it transcends. It's like a wedding industry staple.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Four Seasons and the Mandarin are, like, that's why you're not getting a venue.
Like, yeah. You have to
they're
understand.
luxury hotel and properties. They run events. Like, luxury hotels have ballrooms, and they have lots of rooms. It's like, you got to understand how the industry works.
Yep.
The industry works on all these things. Yep. So before we move on to the most important thing, wedding planners, with venues, the one thing I was going to also point out is you can make them content for their websites. So if you do a couple events with someone, I would recommend just sending them a Google Drive folder and say, hey, here's some cool footage of weddings at your thing.
Yep.
Tell your web team they can use them. And if you go to someone's website and you see videos on their website, oh, that videos are so good on your website. Who's going to get the money? You. You're going to get booked. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, they booked it. You're going to get the referral and the client's going to be happy. So being smart about like giving them content that they can use on their website and in their marketing and all that is really smart. The only thing I was going to ask you before we move on is, okay, because I know what people ask. Would you recommend I call them and just say, I'm going to make something for you for free? If you've never gotten in the door.
No.
I wouldn't either. And I was thinking about that. I was like, why? It just comes across like.
Because in most cases, they already have someone that if they needed something, they could call and they would probably do something for
I think
free.
they're going to say no. That's my number one thing. I think they're going to say no.
Well, because especially hotels, they're very sensitive about who they let in the door and what they're going to do.
Because they have a marketing team.
Because they are going to have to babysit you. And they're going to be like, I don't want to have to babysit a stranger. That is what it comes down to, right? It's like this person's going to come in. They're going to be ask me. They're going to be like, I can create this crazy video for you. And we're going to be doing drone in the lobby, even though we just did drone in the lobby of a very expensive hotel. But, they trust us. They trust us at the end of the day.
And we kind of ran it by.
And we ran it by them. It was storyboarded. It was figured out. But yeah, it's just it's really just about access in that world. Like you are, you pay for access by experience and showing that you've done it before.
Yeah, I would say I guess it couldn't hurt, but maybe it could hurt to do cold call them. And the reason why is like, if someone's first impression of you is that you are thirsty, I don't think that's a good first impression. I think like if you're
What's the difference between being thirsty and hungry?
Here's what I would say. If I knew a wedding person, say I went to wedding events.
Yeah.
So I have a planner that I've known for 4 years. And she's never hired us. But we talk. And I waited. And eventually, we were in a conversation after enough time where and I was like, we got to work together. I will do something for you because I want this opportunity.
Yep.
I was like, please, I will do it at cost. Yep. Give me an opportunity and I will prove to you that like we're friends. You're going to like it. If I knew a person, I think it's okay. Because you have a different, that's not their first impression of you. Their first impression of you is, oh, this is a person I know. I see them all the time. I trust them. We talk to each other, blah, 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 blah. I just wouldn't cold call someone and say, can I do something for free?
Right.
It's like you're like a solar salesman.
Right. I think you want to look for opportunities. Like we did a thing for Party Slate last week.
Done a bunch for them.
A lot for them. Every time they come to Boston, they call us. We did their event. And, the planner, that would be an opportunity for somebody. You're in the door. You're already filming something like a WIPA event or whatever. You're like, I really want to work with this person. You could maybe be like, as you're shooting, be like, they haven't hired me. They don't really even know who I am. But if you're like, hey, I put something together for you based on that, that's a good way to be like, I did something for you. You don't have to use it, whatever. I just wanted you to have the assets, whatever. It's a measure of goodwill. It shows off your work and shows them like,
I mean, if
I
you
like this type
can
of
give
person.
someone content because you have it, you
Yes.
should always give it.
Always do it.
That's what I'm saying. That's how
Yeah.
you like open the door. But
I
if you
agree.
can't, if you didn't have the content, asking them to let you do the content.
Because then it essentially, you have to understand the pressure you're putting on that person. They're going to have you come, shoot something, and then if they don't like it, or if there's something minutely, not offensive to them, but like something that they don't like about it, they might not even tell you about it.
And
Because
then
then they're
they're gonna
like,
get it,
you did it for free. Now I feel like a jerk, and I feel like an obligation that I have to post it. You're just putting them in. That's the situation that you're putting them in. You're putting pressure on them. No one wants to feel pressure
No.
about something like this. That they don't. At the end of the day, they don't care about it. They don't care. You care much more about it. Your interests have to be aligned. I would say that's what creates the synergy of a good relationship. Is your interests are aligned at the end.
Yeah,
of the
I
day.
mean, we just did a wedding, and I'm not going to mention, but we did a collab with this person, the planner. But I noticed that they hadn't shared any. We one of the things me and Jared do when we work with a new planner, especially a high end one, is we look at how they interact with other wedding filmmakers on their Instagram feed. And if they have a very curated Instagram feed that doesn't feature anyone else's work or no video or anything like that, we kind of assume they don't like doing it.
Yeah.
So when I approach that person, I say, hey, I'm going to make something, no pressure. I'm not offended at all. But like, if you like it, feel free to collab.
Yep.
Because then I'm like, hey, if it benefits you, you collab. But
Do
if
it.
it doesn't benefit you, we understand. People have curated feeds.
And we're eating in other places. Like it's not,
It's all good. But like, just kind of like, again, what are their interests? What do they want? I think it's so funny about me, Jared, is like, I'm a huge talker, as you know, and I'm loud and all this. So I think people think I don't listen.
Yeah.
But I listen.
Yeah.
I know so much stuff about people that they don't even know that I know. Just based on watching their human behavior. I'm a pattern recognition machine.
Yes.
I look for patterns. And if I see someone's pattern, I'm like, even the types of people they collaborate with, I'll be like, they're never going to hire us.
Yeah.
Just because I can see what they're trying to sell.
Yep.
And so it's just like,
Yep.
So with planners, let's end on this one. We get a lot of referrals from planners. I think at this point with Stop Go Love, which is like our high end, I think calling it mid tier is actually not accurate.
Yeah. It's high end.
It's a high end brand.
Yep.
But it's not like,
Every wedding we
Luxury.
shoot for Stop Go Love is 6-figure.
yes,
Everyone.
pretty much. And the average sale price is like upwards of $8,000.
Yep.
So
8, 9, 10.
So you're in like a upper end echelon price point, especially in like some markets, you'd be the most expensive filmmaker. So, we don't say it as a brag. We say that as like although I don't care about bragging, like whatever. Everyone brags. Some people admit it and some people don't. That's the difference. But like, I'm more saying like, this is just maybe not all the contexts are transferable. So our context is a wedding planner centric context, but because of that, we have a lot of experience with making planners happy and doing what they want. And again, like I keep saying, what does the planner want? So in your experience, what is the number one thing a planner wants out of a vendor team, but also maybe specifically a filmmaker?
The number one thing.
Maybe a couple things.
So
What is 8 things?
What is my 5-step plan? I think the number one thing is ease, probably. Wouldn't you agree?
I think that's not number one. I think it is number one most important once the contract is signed. Like, it would be the number one thing that would keep you from getting a referral if it was not true. I think the number one thing that they want is probably, depending on how established they are, like if someone's very established, probably the number one thing they want is just their client to be happy because they don't need anything out of you anymore.
I put that under ease, though, don't you?
I would say
Because if you give the client a good experience, that makes their job easier.
I think, though, like you're already hired at that point. So I guess we're talking about in referrals. Yes, in a referral base, ease. And initially getting hired, the client wanting it.
I think
But like once
planners don't want to think about you for more than a second more than they have to.
I would agree.
In almost every case, they're like, I have so many things, especially when you get into the luxury market. They have so many things to
That's
figure
why
out.
planners are so sensitive when
They
you
have hard problems to solve. They don't want the videographer to be a hard problem to solve. They don't want to figure out your transportation. They don't want to think about how you're going to get there. They just want to know that you're going to make it happen.
and like
you have the experience.
they
to
can
do
be
that.
actual pains about that sometimes, where they're being unreasonable. By the way, like I know that. Like if you're like, hey, I had a question about this. Did you look at my schedule? Oh, that's why I have the question. Because I did look at the schedule.
Yeah.
So I'm based on your schedule, which
Yeah.
looks stupid to me.
But I would say the reason why they had that reaction is because they have a ton of videographers
Yes.
that don't look at the schedule.
Exactly.
And you
And
know,
so- but
that
my-
is not ease. That is anti-ease.
Yes. And so like but that is why,
Mm-hmm.
to your point, is like the reason they react that way is not because I didn't or because it's even rational.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and like I don't react to it. I just say, oh no, I looked. And so based on what I looked at, I'm seeing this.
Yeah.
And so like, but like I'm trying to establish with this person, I listen to you.
Yes.
I read your emails. I listen to what you say. We had a plan. I was like on a call the other day, and I kept misstating the date. It wasn't even the date, because I think about weddings in terms of the calendar date,
Yes.
not the day of the week. And all weddings are usually Friday, Saturday, but it's a Jewish wedding, and I kept I only said
You're
it
like,
twice.
yeah,
actually.
so what, yeah,
I was like, coming on Friday, and excuse me, like this is, and they just kept getting annoyed.
Saturday, and then you're like, yeah. So yeah, totally. I'm sorry. And then you said it again, like briefly. So when we get there Friday, she was like, I'm just gonna interrupt again to just make sure. And then you're like, dude, I'm gonna show up on the right day. I promise. I promise I'll show up on the right day.
I'm like, it's on my calendar.
I think you did a good job of managing that.
But regardless, it's like the
you made a
person's
joke of it.
sensitive because someone might not have.
Yeah.
So you got to understand these people are like trauma victims
Yeah.
dealing with
It's true.
all these people wearing skull T-shirts. Like how many? The last 2 calls we've had with planners, they've asked us what we were wearing. Like I said,
Yeah.
What are you gonna wear? Well, and I'm thinking, like, here's the number one thing: don't get offended at wedding planners.
Yeah.
Don't get offended at them.
Yeah.
What do they want? Try to understand why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
They don't want you to show. They wouldn't say it if they didn't feel like they had to say it.
It comes down to, in a lot of cases, and honestly, I think it's probably why a lot of wedding planners do prefer nowadays working with female videographers is the empathy element, right? They're very empathetic to what the planner, what the photographer, what the venue is trying to accomplish. And if you're a male videographer who has art on the mind and you're like, art at all costs, you don't factor in being empathetic.
This beautiful film doesn't care if I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah. Who cares? I'm an artist. Like you don't understand
Part of
what
my
the
brand.
goals
I'm
are
a
broadly.
maverick.
Yeah. So I would just say something to think about when you're trying to get, because again, ease. The planner doesn't care about your art, dude. Like, why do you think in the luxury world everyone's work looks the same?
Everybody says that. That's the whole thing. Is like, this is
They don't
such a good
care
point.
about what the art looks like. Because it all looks the
Well,
same.
no. They actually really care. It has to show certain things.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter. There's why, like, again, I'm always dogging on the moving postcard, not because I think it's bad at all. I think it's actually cool. As a filmmaker, I'm like, yeah, like it sparks those same exact endorphins in my own brain. But then I'm always like, where's the wedding?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's the actual wedding? Like, and then I think, man, that planner's gonna think it's cool, but you know what? It doesn't show their work very good. And like, oh, it's not about that. It's about the couples. It's not like, yeah, I understand. We're not talking about like the whole getting into the whole Instagram thing and the heart of weddings and the what's wrong with the industry. And like, I understand that there's an aspect where you're not making a commercial for a wedding planner, unless I am. And here's the deal. I want a referral so I can make a beautiful film for my couple, 6-minute film. That's what they bought. They did not buy the free teaser that I made for the planner. So what am I doing? I'm giving the couple what they bought, and then I'm trying to give the planner something that gets me paid and them paid. What do they want? They want people to see their work. They want people to see how people interacted, the fun people had. Feel like I would say most accurately, they want people to feel like they were there. Yep. Like if they're watching on the internet. Why? Because that's how they get paid.
And a lot of planners, what they're doing is they are creating a real life cinematic experience.
Yes.
Which is captured really well by photographers, but also should be captured really well by filmmakers.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
I think it's unfortunate a lot of planners don't see it that way. They don't work with video. How many times do you see someone's Instagram account who does this beautiful planning work and design work and just color work and all this stuff, and it's just they don't ever work with a filmmaker.
And I'm always
or
just
consistent filmmaker.
They gotta hire me.
Yeah, I know. It gets mouth a little frothy for some some work with them. But I think but you see it and you realize that person's probably scarred by bad interactions with video.
Or no one has even offered them a teaser. Or no one is like. So let's talk about how to get these referrals.
Sure.
So first and foremost, you need to understand what their goals are. Like you said, they need you to be easy. You can't cause problems.
Yep.
You can't annoy them. You can't ask too many questions.
Yep.
You need, because that's a sign of inexperience or just anything that makes you feel like, can I trust my client with this person? If they think that at all, it's bad.
Yeah.
And,
right.
and like, so, and sometimes it's not even fair by the person. Like they just, you got to know that they're on the defensive initially with you. So you got to work really hard to build trust. So don't be a douchebag, and then your work needs to be good. Blah, 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 all that. The secondary component is you have to provide value to the planner. And this is the thing. Planners aren't going to be honest with you because they don't want to look bad. And they're not going to tell you that they're the real truth about it, which is they're not as likely to refer you if you don't give them content.
Say it again for the people in the back, Jay.
They could no one will admit that.
Right.
Because it makes them look bad. Why would they admit that? They don't have to admit it. They can just lie about it forever. Or they can lie to themselves. I don't care. I don't care why it's happening. I don't care if they even believe it. I don't believe it. Because what I see.
But also know that me, as somebody who does create content for people, if I see a planner that I work with often hire another videographer and there's not content out within my window, I'm texting them being like, when are we going to see video from that wedding? I want to see it. Where is it?
I know so many filmmakers. I know all the filmmakers that won't give the planners content.
Yeah. But AKA, I'm noticing that you're not getting with that person what you got with me.
Maybe come back home.
I'm just reminding you of that fact.
You step out. You're not going to get it as good as when you come back home.
Yeah. Come back home. My arms are open wide.
I'll forgive you.
I'll forgive
for stepping out. But it's like if you don't understand the need, they need people to see their work.
Yes.
They need these things. If you're a dick about it, or they can tell you resent it, or they can tell or you're always right.
Or if they feel like you are annoyed by the request or
put out.
Yeah.
How many times we've been like trying to do a social media release with someone?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I don't make people do that. No. Like they're like, and I'm like, no. Forget about that. I want to make something with you. Let's do it.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. I am happy to do it. They're like, what?
Yeah.
They can't even imagine.
I'm a partner.
I'm your partner.
Yes.
I make money when you make money. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like that's the attitude. And like, so it's led to so many good things for us guys. Like whether it be like, we have a planner who we did interviews with this year. We've worked with, I don't know, probably 50 times, right, Jared?
Yeah.
Maybe more.
She'll write us an email and be like, here are the 10 weddings for next year.
Yes.
Send me contracts.
Yeah,
for
we have
all
that
10.
level of trust.
I mean, that's like a $80,000 to $100,000 email.
Yep. And
that's cool.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, she's giving me all these opportunities. she's like, I need to do interviews. How much are you going to charge me? I'm like, I'm not going to charge you. Just come in.
Yeah.
We're going to make it. And you know what I also do? I have all this I have a vision for you.
Mm-hmm.
I have all this content that I've been thinking about for 3 years. So maybe we have this question and this question, and I can use this part of this one wedding we did, and this. And then we have this. I probably would have had to charge someone like $60,000 to make that video, to shoot and edit all that content, because it's so. But the relationship has been so long that now we are synergistic.
You're invaluable.
Yes.
To their success.
Yes. And I think that's the key. If you're working with a planner, of course, make the couples happy and don't be a hassle. That's like a baseline. But like, you really want to get that referral, make yourself valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can, like you said, invaluable. You're going to get referrals.
And also, it's fun.
It is fun.
It's fun when you get to work with people that become your friends, and you get to, we talk about it a lot, celebrate other people's success.
Care about what they're trying to do. I mean, I even on an advanced level, like you know me, there's a couple people I call to try to get, it's not just to get weddings. It's honestly to talk to them about, hey, what's inspiring you and how's it going and how can I make oh, that's a cool idea. And she'll be sending me work she likes from other people. And we're talking about all these things. And of course, in the context of it, I'm like, are there opportunities like that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got this one next year. Do you want to try that? Yeah, I do want to try that at that one. Yeah. Like, we're partners. We're creative partners. I would say, like, a bunch of people in this industry, like, I want more of you guys. If you're listening and you're a planner, if you think I'm pushing your buttons or, like, pushing you when I'm talking to you, it's because I want to do cool stuff with you. Mm-hmm. And the people who get it and work with us the most, that's the relationship we have, is collaborative. Yeah. And I think, like, when you get to that point, you've crossed a bunch of barriers with that person. Right. And so, like, don't expect to get there overnight. Like, give yourself time.
But also, I would just say in general, our corner of the wedding industry needs more of that. We need, as wedding filmmakers, we need to make ourselves invaluable to creative partners that are not wedding filmmakers, that are designers, that are venues, that are, like, why do people view photographers as so much more important than wedding videographers? It's because of all this. Like, people just see the value in photographs for their website, blah, blah, blah. Why don't they see value in video?
Because no one gives them any video.
No one gives them any video, and you're paying in the ass to deal with it over all this stuff. You're not a good partner. So become a good partner. That's the moral of the story.
I just got a referral. It's not a wedding planner, but we didn't get the wedding. But it was the person. It's a huge celebrity wedding. Mm-hmm. And they are like a type of vendor, I'll say, that is hard to bring in. Like, you need to hire someone local. Mm-hmm. And they were like, oh, I know this person went out of their way to tell this big planner, you should hire these guys. They're local and you save a bunch of money and they're awesome because you don't have to pay for their travel and they're the best. And he was telling me, he's like, oh, every time you're at one of the weddings, I know the video is going to be sick. Mm-hmm. And so I was just telling them, and I'm like, that was so nice of you.
Yeah.
To give me that referral at the biggest wedding I would have ever gotten that they didn't even call me about or refer. But regardless, like, they were advocating for me.
Yes.
And it's like, that's the most I can hope for from anyone. Like, I'm so grateful. I will be grateful for that person forever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because they stuck their neck out for me.
Yep.
And I don't forget that. If someone sticks it, and I guess that's the last thing I'd say. Anyone who does something for you, be appreciative and show your appreciation. Like, let people know that you appreciate that referral.
Yeah. Totally.
And that you value it. Totally. And that you value them. And I think you'll go far.
Yep. So let's close up because
it's time to go.
Sammy's texting me about clients. We got to get back to actual work. But guys, if you found this episode useful, you can find all previous podcasts. I don't know what number we're up to, but we're in season
hundreds.
7.
We have hundreds.
Or season 7?
6.
Season 6 of the Wedding Film School Show. We have a ton of content. Anywhere where you can find podcasts. We have 3 YouTube channels: Wedding Film School, The Wedding Film School Show, Wedding Film 101 if you're a beginner, as well as you can join the community on our Facebook group, Wedding Film School, if you want to have back and forth with other members of Wedding Film School as well. I hope you guys have a great weekend, a good wedding this weekend when you're filming, and we'll see you again next week on the Wedding Film School Show.